Kala Yalla Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakaha Kadash and double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS to do real well. And shalom to the brothers and the sincere brothers and sisters, man. And your team, the hopeful elect lady and her children as well, man. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. Now, I played this video, I know I posted it. I said, stay away from all sorts of niggatry, pretty much. Just pretty much saying, stay away from any signs of, it's trouble. Like anything that makes your antennas go up, always question it, right? So if you got to question it, more than likely, it ain't for you, man. And this is the time to walk circumspectly, man. Not a time to be making mistakes. Now, we do know that we in a psyoptic government that likes to do false flags and, uh, chaos, implement chaos in certain areas in order to implement agendas, and spread the blame on a certain people, right? Because Jake ain't really the fucking problem with the world. Let's truth be told. In the UN, they'll flip a whole bill. The Americans will have the UN to flip a whole bill, man. We know who predominantly is the heads of America, man. The so-called white man, Esau Edom, man. Now, I'm not justifying any of this at all, but we are, if it could have been true, it could have been a psyop, But when I seen it, to me, like the elder saying yesterday, man, you start to get numb with the shit because this death is all over the place, man. If you look at in the news, that death is all over the place, man. Even in our own fucking lives, there's always something going on that it's something, man. We in a very psyoptic position, not psyoptic. We're in a very stressed out, position. But it's the Lord's Spirit. You gotta understand, it's the Lord's Spirit that's making us, that's keeping us through these things. But at the end of the day, like you said, I was watching one of the brothers of GMS, one of the apostles. He was going into just with how the government, they like to pick and choose their battles, man. And the timing of them picking and choosing their battles, they like to play on the people's emotions and mind, get them roused up, because that's what they do. Really, it's the Lord using him. Because the devil, he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe that there's a power that's going to put him in his place. But no, if this is real, like I said, I'm not justifying any of it. You shouldn't be, that's why I say, man, stay away from these type of niggas, man. You never know. I'm not saying everybody look like him with tattoos, whatever, is evil, because you have some brothers in the truth. Now that long hair shit gotta go, but you have some brothers in the truth, man. That's sincere. They got tattoos and stuff, But at the end of the day, the more I analyzed it, the more I was like, you know what? This looks like a psyoptic operation, man. I need to do a video on this, man. So.
Starting with breaking news, we have the newly released video of the deadly stabbing that happened on the Cass Blue Line train.
Yeah, this case has certainly sparked those renewed concerns we've been hearing about safety on public transit, and many folks now raising questions about mental health.
WCNC Charlotte has made the decision not to show the full attack due to the graphic nature, out of the utmost respect as well for the family and friends of the victim.
And WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is joining us now. Jesse, you're walking us through now this video and also the concerns that experts are telling you need attention.
Well, like you mentioned, this video captures a very terrifying moment, showing the moments leading up to the attack of 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, who came here from Ukraine to escape war. But unfortunately, her life was taken in a tragic way. Now, this case raises many questions about safety and security on public transit, but it also raises many questions about mental health, the suspect's state of mind, and if any warning signs were missed there. This is video surveillance of the night. Irina Zarutska enters the Blue Line at the East-West Boulevard station stop. You can see she takes a seat directly in front of the Carlos Brown, the suspect. At first, nothing seems unusual, but 4 minutes later, he pulls out what appears to be a pocket knife and suddenly stabs Zarutska multiple times. Zarutska then collapses. As Brown walks to the front car, takes off his sweater, and wraps his hand before exiting the train. Police arrested him on the platform shortly after. Kat says nothing in Brown's behavior that night raised alarms before the stabbing. Former FBI agent and former federal prosecutor M. Quentin Williams gave us...
I mean, if you look at it, look, when I see it, I'm just, analyzing the video as well. She looks up, she looks to the side. As soon as she sits down, he smiles, man. We go right back right here. It's like it's like one of them things. Like, I already know.
Arrested him on the platform shortly after. Kat says nothing in Brown's behavior that night raised alarms before the stabbing. Former FBI agent and former federal prosecutor M. Quentin Williams gave us his take on this and whether improved security could help prevent future incidents like this one.
I think they have a good cap.
She looks up, stares. I don't know, he's staring at the camera. But like I said, I don't know. Could it, with the government, the powers that be right now, and we know the things that they've implemented in the past in order to demonize Jake and justify themselves, it looks like a psyop, man. But, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, like I said, I'm not justifying anything. That nigga needs to be put to death. That's like the elder apostle, like the elder Menachem Zakba in South Carolina said. That's us in the law. He's supposed to be put to death instantly. But Ecclesiastes 5:8, it says, "If thou see of oppression of the poor and violent perverting of justice, of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter." It says, "For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, man. He and there be higher than they, man." So the Lord is seeing everything. He's seeing, the wicked counsels, and if it was a psyop, he's seen it. He's allowing it. It says, "Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all." It says the king himself is served by the field. Going over here, we're gonna get this real quick, man. It says, "Unless Satan should get advantage of us, man, we are not ignorant of his devices, man." So pretty much, we know that the different psyops is going to be used against us to try to demonize Jake, man. Now, I wanted to do this real quick too when I was looking it up because I always try to challenge the status quo, so to speak, of who the real problem is. Because they want to demonize all Jakes, man. Even if you are upstanding Jake, you've done things well for the country. They don't give a fuck about what you've done. They don't even give a fuck about their own people. They care about their agenda. And white supremacy is a part of the agenda, which is really just Edomite supremacy, man. But at the end of the day, we know that all so-called white people are not Edomites. We know that all so-called black people that look like us are not Israelites, man. You are not a part of the promise, man. But anyways, I'll go here. Hold up. It's a lot. I typed it in for 2025. I typed in lynchings in 2025. Overview. Let's do it like that. It's always something with this fucking computer, man, lately. Lynchings in 2025. All right, you know what? We'll come back to that, man. We'll just come back to that. Let's go here. So, white man, I typed it in. I just wanted, because this is just goes to prove that AI's been set up too to target Jake, facial recognition. I typed in white man stabbing news. Now, in the screen, you don't see a white man. So on the screen, you don't see any white man. But see, this is the talk of the town right now. This is like they use it's the same thing. It's the same tactic that they use on their own people. But now they trying to make you the target. They coming for us, particularly the elect, the hopeful elect, man. It says, so pretty much in their psyop, government's psyop, fake news, and their psyop, alternative medias, they'll use these little small incidents and say, "Oh, see, that's the problem." And let's be honest, You know, 2/3 of our people are a fucking problem, but they're not more of a problem than the people who's implementing the laws, man. On Jakes who are actually trying, who are actually in this world, who actually have struggle, who can't even get good health care, who get fucked over day after day, man. Judgment is not rooted well in this fucking country. It's all about status. It's all about, you know, even in the lawyer system, you know, if you can lie the best, truth be told, if you got the best liar, or a good liar of a lawyer, you know, you in this system, this wicked system, man, you can move, you can move, do wonders, man. We seen that. You just with the Diddy cases, the Trump Epstein shit going on, you know, certain people should be on the death penalty. Kyle Rittenhouse should get the death penalty, you know, all these different things, man. But they don't, you know, they anytime, you know, it's Jake, it's a it's an outroar. This took over. This is pretty much the talk of the town. This is over. You know, the people. I feel like they don't forgot about the massacre in what was it, in Minnesota? They forgot about the massacre that happened to that black church, and that man went free, man. I forget his fucking name, man. You know, I can't. You know, these days, you know, the illness is fucking with me. It's really, really, really bad. But you know, the Lord made us strong, man. So we're gonna keep fighting. But you know, there's so many incidents where you know they just go scotch free, but you know they don't make a big outroar about this. But see, with you, and look at all these news sites. It's supposed to be Democrats, supposed to, you know, some of these motherfuckers supposed to be Republicans and shit that you just in the system that you believe in, right? This is talking news. And now notice I said white man stabbing news. I didn't say black man. So why is this popping up? Is she a man? You know, it's talking to town, man. Ain't that some crazy shit? But you know, I'm doing this because really, when you deal with psyops and you deal with, you know, liars in governments, right? It's gradual. So like I said, the facial recognition, you know, system that they're implementing, the social credit system that they're implementing, they still want you to be at the bottom and even within the social credit system. Why do you think they let all those people, you want to call them Jakes, you know, some of them might be Jakes, but all these, the different nations come over here, but the Jakes, you know, they want to get rid of them, man. You know, Moab, Ammon, all these different people, but you know, Jake, and really you've just been snared because, you know, Esau's a dumbass. So, you know, your enemies have deceived you. You know, Obadiah speaks about that, and that prophecy is going to play out. Now, this is what happened. I typed this in, you know, black lynching. Let me see if it'll pop up here, man. In 2025, it says reports indicate that there are no traditional. Now, I'm just, you know, doing this because lynchings still happen. They just don't get reported, man. Usually, it says reports indicate there, you know. Anyway, it said reports indicate there were no traditional lynchings in the United States in 2025. Contemporary definitions and classification of violence have helped the term lynching. It says in horrific, it's like in most official and journalistic reporting. However, various conferences, events, and reports in 2025 are focused on the legacy of lynchings, and the continued presence of extremist violence in the United States and globally. So yeah, there is a lynching is definitely still going on, and it's something that, you know, it's not reported. You know, not even just that. You know, social injustice. We still don't even have a crime bill, so that should tell you where we still stand with these people in 2025. You know, Jake trying to be these motherfuckers' friends and shit, and sit with them and eat with them and laugh with them and have, you know, have campfires with them and shit and play the guitar. But at the end of the day, these motherfuckers are your enemy, man, and they're gonna turn on you. I want to see it, and when they do, I am going to laugh. You know, hold up, it's a lock. All right, I just do it like this. This damn thing tripping. All right, so then I typed in lynchings in 2025. I go here. Come on, bro. What the hell is going on, man? Lynchings in 2024. And see, it still it won't let me, you know, look it up now. But you know, at first everything had popped up, man. And there was a mass amounts of lynchings in 2024. Let's go to ChatGPT and do it, because AI doesn't lie, right? So ChatGPT, how quickly they changed the tune, man, right? These damn Edomites, because they know they gotta move fast, and really them trying to move fast with it is really hurting them even more. Them trying to move fast is got them moving sloppy. Even their own people can see it, but oh my gosh, bro. It's not telling me because I had it pulled up. I should have just left it because they fuck with our computers and shit. So this is what we gonna do. Lynchings in 2024. Just do it like this. You can just see it for yourself, man. It says Illinois truck driver found dead with rope around his neck was Javion McGee. It says 3 black men were lynched. This is in all 2024 as a rural Virginia county has entered their name. It says Missouri lynch Salakia, Marcellus Khalifa Williams. These are all lynchings. These are all the same. These are all the same problems that they like to run from, man. But at the end of the day, you implemented this system, man. It just so happened I didn't even know this was in North Carolina. Let me see. I just seen something, but really, like I said, I had it pulled up. I should have just left it there because I know they be messing with my damn. Let's do it right here because it's is what it is. Devil's trying to make himself to seem holy, and he's not. It says the number of people killed in mob lynching has been more than doubled in 2024. It says as compared to the previous years. Human rights organization and Celeste Kindred has said. Now read this. It says January 1st of 2025. So this was published the January 1st of 2025. I know it says in Bangladesh, but at the end of the day, who did they get that mindset from? You know, it was definitely not the right site. But at the end of the day, it means the point is still there, man. This lynching still going on. It's a lot of things that's still going on within our neighborhoods are not being reported. So let's do this. You know, let's do it like this. Damn, that's nonsense. Do it right here. It's .org. Wrongful wrongful convictions disproportionately affect Black Americans, man. Reports show, and really, like I said, they trying to set up the narrative to make Jake out to be the problem. And we know all Jakes ain't doing this shit. All Jakes ain't going out there and acting like this and shit. But that's what they want you to think. The people that think like that. That's why I say renew your mind. The people that think like that, you are going to be the one that you're pretty much. Uh, you, there's no hope for you unless you turn to Yahweh Shah, man. Your hope is in pretty much the devil's system because you clearly showing, people can show you the facts of certain things. You just deny it, say, it's not that important to you in your life right now because you might be winning. But, today you're a winner, tomorrow you may be a loser, man. So remember, it's just that easy for the Lord to make you fall. And when it happens, it's going to be, crazy. And this is another thing, because 50% of crimes don't even get solved. I'm about to tell you here, it says the exonerations report has some disturbing numbers on the rate of exonerations. It says black people represent 13.6 of the population, but account for 53% of 3,200 exonerations in the registry as of August 8th, man. And this was when? This is in 2022. Well, you can only imagine what it's like now. Because, like I said, niggas ain't out here doing all of this shit, man. Like I said, they said Chicago's been a problem. It's been this, it's been that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's problems everywhere you go, but the main part, is the two turds, because really they don't have respect for authority. They don't have respect for their parents. They don't respect anything, man. All they want to do is just shoot, bang, bang, and get paid to be a wicked nigga, man. They don't care. They don't have a rulership mentality or accountability. They don't care for courtesy or consideration of the things that they do or the things that they might say. It's all about them. And really that's a serial killer mentality. So a lot of them, yeah, they do. A lot of you niggas need to be fucking put down. You know, but this ain't all of Jake. See, and that's the thing. Them trying to demonize all of Jake is going to come back to bite them even harder. This is where we got to have faith in our power. It says, but they account for 53% of all the people in this country who were falsely convicted of a serious crime that has and freed after serving at least a part of their sentence, man. And all those 50, and all of them should get compensated, man. It said that's according to the new report from National Registry of Exonerations. For more details on that, we're joined now by the NPR race and identity reporter, Alana Wise. Hey, Alana. I don't want to read that shit. got too into the reading, man. So I read a lot. So yeah. So pretty much they're telling you, all the crimes that happen in this country, and that's how you. And this is just another part of the curses, man. Us being in the prison houses, a literal, curse. You know, pretty much, they set you up. They put you in a position where either you're vulnerable or you may not have known, and then just like with that not Edward Snowden, Blandon, is a CIA operative. Was it Blandon or was it FBI operative? I think he was CIA. At the time when it was doing studies on cocaine, which crack cocaine and cocaine, pretty much are the same thing, bro. One is just sold in one neighborhood, one was being sold in another neighborhood. It's the purity of it, right? But it still has the same effect, no matter, Anyways, uh, yeah, they put those drugs into the community. It got introduced to actors and politicians. They made songs about it. Pretty much they was all for it, man. Trump was taking pictures with these niggas, taking pictures with Nelly, and there is his presidency, right? But before then, he was taking, he has pictures with these celebrities, pictures with Epstein, pictures with, niggas, 2000s niggas and shit, man. He was living it up, you know. So now you have a problem with these niggas? Nah, you about an agenda, man. That's so snakish. That goes into this, man. Because he was standing right with these. When you look at these pictures, he was standing with these people, man. That's why we say what we say, man. All the murmuring and shit. That's why I say what I say. But it's only certain people gonna, I guess, really change, man. That's the elect, man. As that gets goes for myself, man. But I don't murmur. That's one of the things I don't do, and I don't like it around me. All that sneaking. But anyway, don't stick to it because this is about what this devil's trying to do. And actually, before we get that, let me do this. Pictures. uh, and all the rappers that you see, that you about to see, you know, pretty much help push that narrative, man. Push the narrative of violence in the country. You know, that's what they like. That's what they like here in America. Really, they make it seem, you know, the biggest buyers of the. I mean, I showed you that in my video, my last one of my videos. One of the biggest buyers is, you know, was white America, bro, of violent rap, man, with niggas killing niggas, man. You know, they project that image on you. They project that image on you, like, you know, they don't get caught. And really, all these people are setups. You know, all these celebrities, you know, they took the bag, they set up psyops and all that shit. But at the end of the day, ain't none of that. None of what that lifestyle represents is shit, man. That's what we trying to tell you. It's all a psyop. I mean, like I say, he was taking pictures with all these niggas, man. All these different rappers, all these different groups was help push violence at a time when, you know, killings was happening and lynchings was happening. You know, nothing was really getting reported, but it was really worse. It was bad, bro. It's worse now, obviously, because motherfuckers just don't care. But he was with. You look at all these different pictures, man. He was with them. He was in the mix. This stupid shit. He was in the mix, man. So like I said, all that lying, all that, you know, trying to backdoor people, all that lying, all the lies pretty much has been figured out. There's no more trying to hide behind, you know, the narrative, or trying to hide behind the psyop, the government, and trying to hide behind your hand. You're just gonna have to come out and show who you truly are. And that's what he's doing. You know, so like you. It says, I'm gonna do this real quick because that's not the point. We talking about an unfaithful friend, man. Cool. Sorry. It says, fall after him no more, for he is far off. He is as a roe escaped out of a snare, man. And pretty much this devil has been snared, you know, throughout history. You know, you got destructive, evil, criminal history. I'm talking about America, period. You know, not even just with the Cold War period. You know, you got a wicked history. You know, your people have a wicked history. You still have a wicked fucking mindset. You know, they keep wanting to, you know, love everybody, but, you know, then they'll psyop you into, you know, or they try. That's really the psyop, you know. And then they'll put you in a position where you can't win. You know, whenever, you know, you can't put it on for your people like they put on for theirs. Where's the love in that? You know, that's evil, man. Like I said, the whole world is against the so-called, the true Israel, biblical Israelites, which is us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and West Indies, man. It's been over here in the Western Hemisphere, struggling, going through it, man, under the curses, man. You know, we are the true biblical Israelites, and it's going to be proven, man. You know, it's already been proven. You know, I mean, through the curses, through prophecy. I mean, look at, you know, the implementation of the the mark of the beast. You know, the sea hit. You take it. That's, you know, it's therefore it says, as for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reviling, there may be reviling, there may be reconciliation, man. You know, after, you know, you healed, after time, you know, you took time, you know, you might got into a fight with somebody, an argument, whatever. If y'all took time apart, calm down. Now, you know, you can come down, you know, we can reconcile, you know, what you did, what I did, and there, you know, maybe, you know, after the wound is healed, man. But it says, but he that betrayeth secrets is without hopes, man. And that's this devil, man. You know, he's monitoring you, you know, stealing your data. You know, that's betraying secrets, man. Numbering the children, you know, and that's even, you know, that's why I say the murmuring, man. All right, you keep playing, bro. It says, "He that winketh his eyes worketh for evil," and wink, it's kind of it's in the same, you know, realm as a gesture. You know, you wink your eye, and you're like, yeah, man, I got you. Wink, wink. You know, but then, you know, there's certain countenances. You know, if you study, you know, people's face and mannerisms, man, people pretty much give themselves away, man, without you even having to say anything. You know, body language speak louder than words. A lot of times it says, and he that knoweth him will depart from him. It says, when thou art present, he will speak sweetly, and he will admire thy words. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the way. Just do it, man. Yeah, we're all for it. But at last he will rip his mouth and slander thy sayings. I promise you, I swear to you, I never knew that this guy was like that. I mean, Now it kind of makes sense. He was, I mean, look at this little video, you know what I'm saying? Just all kinds of mockery and justifying, you know, the wickedness, but you was all for it, you know? So you get accounted with, but see, this is how the devil likes to pull his hands back from you, Jay. It's why we tell you to depart from his ways, but you're not, most of you are not, because you're infatuated. You love this fucking kingdom, man. You love this wicked ass kingdom because it's giving you a wicked past. And that's a lot of you 2/3, you know, celebrity Israelites. You know, yeah, the realm, the repentance is still there, but you got to look at it. You know, if you're enjoying the fruit. You're enjoying the fruits of wickedness right now, man. By not denying yourself and you know being willing to go through it like we're going through, or like the true, sincere going through it. You know, denying themselves in this world, man. You know, meaning you know you don't want a status, we don't want a crown, a worldly crown, man. But see, you are, you know, that's why you snitch. You see them, you get these jakes. You know, they'll tell on them. They'll tell on they partner when they get caught by the feds or some shit, man. Because that's be, you know, you was with them though, and they'll try to put that on Jake. But guess what? You Edomites do that all the time. You do it in the music industry. You do it in finance. You know, a lot of you got backdoored by Edomites. Got backdoored by the small hats, and they starting to figure that out now, and they pissed. Yeah, them shareholders, they backdoored you, stupid motherfuckers, man. It says, uh, I have hated many things, but none like him, for the Lord will hate him, man. He has hated many things, but none like him, for the Lord will hate him. So the Lord hates. And we're here to tell you Edomites. You know, those despite you trying to switch the narrative and, you know, make Jake out to be the problem. The Lord hates your fucking ass. And you're going to get judged eventually. There's no remedy for the things that you've done, man. Like I said, let me go here and I'm gonna end it, man. There's no remedy for anything that you've done, man. I think it's in Isaiah. It might be Isaiah 48. Might be Jeremiah. I'm tripping. And I don't know what the hell is going on. But I would not always quit. Let me do it like this, man. Forget which verse that is, man. I spelled that completely wrong. Oh no, 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 no. You know what? I think it is. Let me do it like I think it's Isaiah. I want to end, you know, with a message to you Edomites, man. You know, the Lord is not going to forget anything that you've done, man, through the course of history, man. And you need to know this. You know, I don't have time for any of that, bro. So I'm just gonna do it like this, man. It's Nahum 1 and 3. It says, I thought it was gonna pull it up. And that's a good book to read too. I need to read Nahum more, man. You know, I need to. This is like you said with Nineveh, with Jonah. You know, those are good books to read. You know, when dealing with people that will not listen to you. You know, even though the Lord is dealing with you too. Anyways, it's Nahum 1:3. It says, "The Lord is slow to anger and great in power." It says, "And will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord Yahweh have His way in the whirlwind and in the storm and in the clouds are the dust of His feet. He rebuketh the sea and make it dry. He drieth up all the rivers." He says, Bashan languish and caramel, and the flower of Lebanon languish. And who are those? What are those? Those are because the Lord likens us unto trees, man. You know, we're likened unto trees. We're likened unto stones, lively stones. You know, He likens us unto things that are that He's made in the earth that have a particular quality, right? That represents our quality, because your speech has the words you say. But anyways, just keeping it spiritual, man. It says He will not at all acquit the wicked man. So just because the Lord is slow to anger, that doesn't mean He's going to forget about all the things that you have done to us, man, over time, man. For the violence of thy brother, God. I was going, but let's get this. Because it is what it is, man. Without 1 and 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, man. So the only people that's going to get cut off the planet Earth is the Edomites. They've lived in a perpetual. I mean, you got 5 kingdoms, and you get all the way to the last, the 6th kingdom, and you want to implement. You want to now be righteous, and now we want to do the right thing. Now, man, it's agenda based, man. These devils are at war with the Lord, man. They know who the Lord is, man. They know who our power is, man. You've had your rulership, you've had your kingdom. The Lord has promised the pretty much the restoration of His people that He chose here. You look at these niggas, you look at Jake as crackheads and whatever, and downtrodden and losers or whatever, man. That's been over here. That's still continuously going through this shit to this day. You still have excrements of post-traumatic slave disorder, and so many other ailments, and really just demons, man, that mess with our people, man. That's been implemented by this system, man. So at the end of the day, you Edomites are more of a problem than Jacob. You've always been more of a problem than Jacob, and right now you made money off of Jacob. Let's get on that too. You use our people for your talent to make money off of us. There's more white people that's actually on welfare than black people, and that was never reported correctly, because the news likes to twist things and make Jake out to be the problem. But see, the thing is, he's going to beautify his people, and he's going to make your people ugly, man. He's going to take away, he's going to strip Babylon of every fucking thing, and then you devils are going to lose it, and then you're going to get fired up with the missiles, man. And see, this is the thing. The Lord was never with you. He was never with you Edomites, man. He's never going to be with you Edomites, man. He put that in His law. He will have war with Amalek forever. And who was Amalek? The top tribe of Esau. That's pretty much the top Edomite. So I'm in that right there, man. And that's you shareholder small hats that pretty much snaked your own people for your agenda. Because Esau is not satisfied with blood. They're not satisfied with what they get. Now they find out they got fucked over. Their own government fucked them over, man. And I'm laughing at it, man. I'm excited. I'm laughing at it. I don't care. Fuck this place. This is a wicked ass kingdom, a wicked ass rulership. To hell with this world. Abba Babal. Kahalayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom to the hopeful elect only.